Hello, my name's Don Smith, and I'm here today with Keith Carruthers, CEO of SSI Consulting Solutions, to talk about a series of videos that SSI is creating to address business questions concerning the COVID-19 pandemic. Hello, Keith.
Hi, Don. How are you doing today?
Good. So Keith, since this is the first in a series of videos that SSI is putting out, why don't we start with you telling us a little bit about yourself and SSI?
Okay, Don. My background was primarily in manufacturing for quite a number of years, and about 15 years ago, I decided it was time to try something different. And I started getting a lot of calls from people to help them out with some of the problems they had. And most of the calls I was getting was from the manufacturing industry, of course, because I had known a lot of people through my fairly lengthy career in manufacturing. So my plan really wasn't to be a consultant. I'm more of a practitioner kind of person. But as I started to help these people out and the calls kept coming, it became obvious that there was a demand for practitioners who were quite seasoned and had a lot of experience. So after a couple of years of working with people primarily on supply chain and operations management things, I started to build the team and gradually bring other consultants in with different subject matter expertise. So we're a team now of 10 and continuing to grow. And a common theme throughout the company is all of the people involved are quite seasoned and they're practitioners as opposed to career consultants. So that seems to be working quite well in the marketplace. And we've got a growing client list and a lot of repeat engagements with clients, which is kind of nice.
Excellent. So what do you want to accomplish with these with this series of videos?
Well, Don, we, as you know, were impacted by the COVID crisis as well as everybody else. So although we still have quite a few engagements on the go where we're working with some clients virtually, the bulk of our work is really done on the client site. And obviously with people quarantining and isolating and social distancing, lots of our contracts that we were working on, we've put on hold for a couple of months here while people stay at home and we try to get through this crisis. And because of that, we have capacity, which is great. But at the same time, there's a lot of people in the marketplace that are struggling and they need some assistance right now. And since we have the skill set to help them and we have the capacity to help them, I thought it was only appropriate that we kind of give something back to industry and help these people who feel that they need some assistance. So I saw a lot of businesses kind of posting online about they can do this and they can do that. And a lot of what I saw was really an effort for those businesses to try to keep their order books full. And I didn't want to do that. What I wanted to do was I wanted to help. I wanted to, our mantra at SSI is really focus on the client, do what's right for the client, don't focus on ourselves. And that's worked quite well. So I wanted to apply that same philosophy to the COVID crisis and offer help to clients. But it was important to me that first and foremost, the help was kind of driven by what they felt they need, and that the help we were offering was through this video series was at a no cost, because they've got a lot of cost challenges right now as they struggle in their businesses, right? So that's really what I wanted to accomplish is provide the assistance that these clients and former clients and potential clients needed, because we have the time available to do so, do it in a no-cost format, and focus on what their issues are. So what we did was we reached out to as many people as we could and asked them, first and foremost, would you be interested in some type of video series where we could answer questions or give you content that might help you? And secondly, if so, what is the content that you'd like to see? So we got quite a response saying we'd absolutely be interested, and here are some of the challenges that we're experiencing. So that's what we hope to do through this video series, and try to focus on the clients and the marketplace and provide the assistance that they feel they need. And that assistance really has turned out to come in the kind of two separate buckets, if you will. First and foremost, there's people who kind of have shut down or have closed up their businesses or have hit pause, who are taking advantage of the time to think strategically and do some of the strategic work that they normally didn't have time to do. So work on their business as opposed to working in their business. And for those types of engagements, they often need outside expertise. So we're trying to address that. The other bucket that people are in is kind of crisis mode, crisis management. And unfortunately, now's not the time for doing business continuity planning and that type of thing, because that time has passed. We're already in the crisis. So we're offering assistance and helping some clients with managing through the crisis. How do they continue to do the right thing, keep their employees safe, keep their customers and their suppliers safe, and still satisfy those who need it in the essential services. So we're doing some of that work as well.
Okay, so what do you see as the contribution or the value that SSI brings to the table for the clients?
Well, I think it's based on the fact that we're not career consultants. We are seasoned practitioners, and I was once in the private sector and hired lots of consultants as well, and wasn't always excited by what I got for my money. So we take a very, very practical approach, and we focus on what the needs of the client are. And some people, quite frankly, they just want somebody to talk to. They want to pick up the phone and have a quick conversation. And then there's other clients that have reached out to us, and they actually want us to come and help them with, for example, how do we operate our facility and maintain some social distancing because we're an essential service and we have to keep running. So we are doing some of that type of work as well. But I think the key thing is that we're very experienced. We have real world industry experience. We've walked in the client's shoes. And we also, with 10 management consultants on staff now, we've got a pretty wide range of offering, and we're covering most of the needs. So if somebody reaches out to me, for example, who's primarily a supply chain and operations person, but they need help with some HR stuff, we've got Ann, who's got a deep background to help them. Or they're looking for some cash flow planning, we've got Bernie, who's got a deep background to help them. So I think it's the breadth and depth of our experience, our focus on the client, and our desire to really help them in whatever capacity they feel they need help.
Okay. So do you have any final thoughts as we wrap up this video?
Well, I think, this crisis is going to pass. It's not a great thing for us to have to go through. But there are positive takeaways. We're all learning a lot about ourselves and about our businesses and about our processes and how we operate and how we can adjust to such a dramatic shift in the marketplace. But it's going to pass. So there's really a couple things. First of all, use this time wisely. With technology today, we're all wired all the time. We never seem to be able to turn off and recharge our batteries and spend time with family and spend time kind of recharging. So we need to look at this as a glass half full and do some of that for sure. The other thing is, for the people that are in businesses that aren't able to continue or have chosen to hit pause, this is an opportunity to use that time wisely. And you can use that time to think strategically, look towards the future, try to anticipate where your business is going to go, retool your business in whatever capacity that is, whether it's strategic planning or whether it's considering a plant expansion that you have been meaning to work on or whatever. So retool the business, recharge your batteries, and be ready to go, because the people who eventually the market's going to swing back up here, and we're going to return to some type of normalcy. And the businesses that have used this opportunity to think strategically and look towards the future are going to be able to hit the ground running when things come back. And I think that's quite important for people to remember.
All right. Well, thank you very much, Keith.
Thanks, Don, and you have a great week.
Thanks, you too.